first question I wanted to ask you is, what is your reaction to like student and university support from obviously students and staff? So it's fully university support for this campaign. I want to know what your reaction was to it.
I think it's brilliant, and people say that students are switched on politics, and I think it's rubbish, and this proves that it's rubbish, because the reality is that people are concerned about what's going on, not just here in the UK, but right the way across the world. And 727 students in my constituency were prepared to sign a petition, and I think that's really good.
Great, I'm glad to hear. Also, so more strikingly, why do you think the government in 2005 and previously, well, that led up to why do you think they made this promise if it's something, as we can see today, that they are finding hard to fulfill?
Well, I think it's always very easy for us to sort of give warm words and say they're going to do all this stuff, and then actually in reality then put it on one side and sort of all too often forget about it. And also, I think in this particular case, not really monitor what's going on and try and pretend that if your target's far enough in the distance that, you know, some other government's maybe going to have to worry about it. And I think whether it's this or whether it's climate change, what we need is not just a sort of action plan of what's going to happen, it needs to be put into practice, and it needs to be really carefully monitored in between when it starts and when the target date is, to make sure we're actually getting there, so that if we know we're going to not hit these important targets, then we need to be able to talk about what we're going to do instead to make sure we still do.
So on a more personal level, as the MP of like the 727 signatures presented to you today, what will you actually be doing to represent our voice?
Well, I'll be doing two important things that I think will really matter. First of all, I'll be writing to Douglas Alexander, who's currently the person who looks after international development, and pressing him to take action. The second thing I'm going to do is talk to our own Conservative shadow international development minister, who's Andrew Mitchell, to make sure that if we get into government, that we will be a government that doesn't just set some challenging targets for ourselves, but that we actually do start meeting them, and that we do start delivering on AIDS and AIDS across the world, and making sure that people have got treatment wherever they are in the world, and that it's affordable for them.
Great. Will you be signing the EDM on this?
Yes, I will. I haven't seen the precise wording of it, but I think this is a good campaign, so I certainly hope we can.
Excellent. And then just as a final note, and you touched on it at the start, but what do you think of the state of democracy today, just to give a more broader context?
Well, I think however down people are on it, I think it actually does work.
Yeah.
And I'm here, you're here, 727 signatures are here.
Yeah.
We've got Parliament in the back.
Sure.
We have topical debates in Parliament every week now, and I think that democracy does work, but people have got to do what your students do, which is use it.
Yeah, of course.
This is how it works.
Yeah.
If people have concerns that they never raise with their MP or ministers, then I can guarantee one thing: nothing will change.
Yeah.
And politics is all about, and democracy is all about, changing the status quo when people aren't happy with it. And that's why it's really good and doing.
Amazing.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much for being here today.
No, pleasure.
Cheers.